So we're going to wait for just a couple of minutes. Red Dirt Fury, first one in, with a very bad comment being very bad. I don't disagree with you, Red Dirt. And you know what? This isn't going to be super formal, guys. Jay, welcome, Jay. 5280 Freak. Yeah, so what this is now, what we're looking at right here, this is more of like a consoling session for us Buff fans for about 20 minutes before the next half starts. And then we're going to go back and watch the game like good Buffs would and know that, you know, if we can't pull it out this particular game, it's okay. We're going to be 3-1. There are going to be a lot of really good teams in the top 25 that are 3-1. So let's not get too crazy about this, guys. Now, the biggest question that we have right now is what? What do you guys think the biggest question is right now? Somebody already said it. What is the biggest question that we have right now? It is, where is Alton McCaskill? Where is this guy? So I actually watched 2 lives from Alton yesterday as he was going into the stadium. And he sounded good. And he sounded like, you know, looking back at it now, it kind of felt like he was maybe, I don't know, pulling back a little bit. Like we didn't know if he was actually going to play or not. But he kept saying he's ready to go. He's ready to go. He's ready to go. And I think that's what we're missing in this game is we are missing. I didn't pull up stats yet. I guess I should pull up stats. I'm going to pull up stats while we're here. So pardon me a second, guys. I'm going to move this over just a little bit. And I'm going to pull up the stats of the game, and we're going to talk about those until the end of halftime. But my biggest question is, and so I'm over on, let me see if anybody else has any questions. It doesn't matter what running back is in, we can't block. Well, you know, that may be true. Somebody else said that in a live stream that I was on. It was on the DNVR live stream. And somebody said, what difference does it make if Elton goes in because we won't be able to block for him anyway? But my point to it is this. At some point, we have got to try to run. And with the size of the Oregon defense, especially the Oregon defensive line, we're not going to do it very easily with Dylan Edwards. I love Dylan Edwards. He's a great guy on a screen. Let's get him some screens, things like that. But he's running into a brick wall. We need someone that can move that wall. And that is going to be Alton McCaskill. Or even Savion Wilkerson. But we don't see him either. Maybe he's hurt. Is Savion hurt? I didn't think he was hurt for this game. Somebody, we need to get in there and we need to run this ball, guys. I'm just going to say that. Because throwing the ball right now isn't doing anything. We tried throwing the ball. We tried screens. We've only had maybe 2 to 3 runs that I've seen us really try. And on one of them, Henderson went, I think, like 7 yards, which isn't bad. We'll take 7 yards. Now, granted, he did that when everybody was in prevent to try to keep us from getting the 35 yards on 3rd down, I think, that we had to go. But the other one thing that I want to talk about on this live stream, and I'm sorry, guys, I wasn't going to go live today, honestly. But after what we've just seen, I figured, you know, we probably need a little bit of therapy here. Shedeur can't hold on to the ball. I don't know why we are trying to hold on to the ball. I think he's thinking that he can get away from defenses like he did in the first 3 games. And one of Shedeur's best stats is that of the 1,200 yards that he has passing, 600 of those yards were in duress. So 600 yards of the 1,200 yards that he has was when he was flushed out of the pocket. That's a fantastic stat. The problem is that Oregon is way faster than any other team that we've played on defense. Sorry, guys. If you see my hand on the screen, it's because I'm trying to get the chat up. Chat keeps going dormant on me. So let's look at the chat real quick and see. Receivers aren't getting open. That's true. Their defensive backs are really tall. Like, there's only one defensive back that is shorter than 6'2". I don't know if you guys knew that or not. 6'2". to 6'3" is the best of their DBs. There's no windows that he trusts. That's probably true. He doesn't want to throw an interception. We don't want to make mistakes. He doesn't want to make a mistake, and I get that. We also don't want to take a sack. We don't want to take 2 sacks in a row. So he's got to get out of the pocket. He's got to throw the ball out of bounds. If he gets to 3 seconds, that ball's got to be out of his hands. And if it's not downfield, it needs to be out of bounds. That's what I'm saying. He cannot hold it for longer than 2 seconds. Every time he holds it for longer than 2 seconds, he ends up getting sacked. Every single time. And I brought that up in my game notes before it because we knew that this defense was going to be that good. I think that's going to be one of the things you're going to see in the second half is we're going to have a lot more passes out of bounds, so we're not losing yardage. I believe we will look better in the second half. I believe we will too. We're going to make some. We always look better in the second half. If you guys didn't know that stat about the fact that we score 41 points to 28 points on other teams in the fourth quarter, then I'm going to tell you that now. We score more points in the fourth quarter. We score double the amount of points in the fourth quarter than we do in the first quarter. Now, the fact that in this game we scored 0 points, 0 times 2 is still 0. The last time I checked, anytime you multiply something by 0, it is still 0. But if we can get 14 points, at this point I would just be happy with ending the game to where it looked like we showed up and we don't lose too much momentum. I don't want to fall out of the top 25. And if we score 14 to 21 points in the second half, I think we're going to stay in the top 25 because there are going to be some teams that are going to lose today. M. Favors, they didn't watch your How to Beat Oregon video. M. Favors, yes. I keep saying that while I'm watching granted, I'm not out there, so it's not that easy, but key to the game, Shedeur, get the ball out of your hands in 2 seconds. Key to the game. Got to do that. Haven't been doing that. We've lost, I don't know how much yardage we've lost on sacks, but I'm going to bet you it's probably in the 25 to 30 yards range that we've lost in yardage on sacks. One of the things that we are doing well is we haven't had a ton of penalties. So that is working in our favor. Another issue that we have is, again, we have not even tried to run the ball. Why are we not running the ball? I don't understand. Now, a lot of people are jumping in saying it doesn't matter if we try to run the ball because we don't have an offensive line that's going to open up running lanes for the running backs. But at this point, I just don't care. I mean, at this point, we're not getting any yardage on passing. So why not get any yardage on rushing, at least try? If we can wear down that defensive line a little bit, maybe pull the linebackers forward. The center of those little posts that go right, like 5 yards right in front of Shedeur, are going to come open. And that's how CSU got right into our underwear, is by doing that. And we need to do the same thing. But when we don't have a running game, they know we don't have a running game. So they're just going balls out to Shedeur and just crushing him. They're just crushing him. I see a lot of stuff about Tank. Tank is that, I don't know who is on Tank right now, but I will say that Tiamani is a wrecking ball, and he is getting in there a lot. And he's one of their 330-pound defensive tackles. And I think both of them in the game right now, the ones that are playing the most, are 330 pounds. Now, keep in mind that our average center line is like less than 300 pounds, maybe 310 pounds. Tyler Brown is out for the season because of the NCAA being idiots. Let's see who else. Tyler Brown will be back for the 2024 season. That is correct. He said he's working out harder than ever right now, and that he's going to be putting on some more weight and becoming even more strong than he already is for next year. Can anyone on defense tackle? Okay, so this goes into another point that I made in my pregame video, is that in practice, you see us do a lot of forced fumble drills. We do a lot of forced fumble drills, and we're really good at that. And the reason why we're good at that is because we do a lot of forced fumble drills. And because of that, we have 10 forced fumbles, which is one of the best in the NCAA. The problem is if you don't get that ball out and you don't wrap up, their running backs and their receivers are very physical. They are absolutely just stripping us off of them. It's like Velcro skirts, and they're just peeling them off. And then the next guy goes up and they're peeling off the next skirt and the next one and the next one. And they're getting 10 yards after the initial hit. And it's because we're not wrapping up. Even on that really awesome hit that, Shiloh made. Shiloh made in the flat. Shiloh made an awesome hit. Basically just stuck that guy. That's awesome. If he had missed by an inch, that guy would have run for 20 yards. We have to wrap these guys up, and I don't know why we're not wrapping them up. So 100 yards on sacks. Is that an actual, Soul 5656? 100 yards on sacks, is that an actual stat? I'm going to have to do a video on that. That's a ridiculous stat. Oh, negative 47 yards from sacks. Okay, so even more than I had originally thought. Let me scroll down in this. You guys are really hopping in the chat room here. Our defense is not wrapping up, guys. Ron Williams. Yes, we just talked about that. We haven't lost yet. We're close, but not yet. I agree with that. I'm never going to give in until the final whistle blows. But we have to find a way to stop Oregon if we have any chance of winning. We can score 28 points in the second half. We're going to have to hold them to 0 points. And right now, it doesn't look like we're going to have an easy time doing that. The game needs to end. CU sounds like it's on fire. So, yeah, I know. It seems like that. But you know what this game is going to end up doing? Let's say at this point it's going to be really hard for us to come back. What we can do in this game is we can learn some lessons for USC next week. We can make some adjustments at halftime. We can try to get the run going. We can say, hey, guys, don't go pounding for the ball unless somebody has already wrapped him up. If somebody's wrapped him up, somebody else go in for the ball. But if you're the first tackler on site, I don't believe you should be trying to force that ball out, because at this point we need to tackle him down. We still have the ability of coming back in this game, but it's not going to be easy. 30-point run rule. Yeah, if this was Little League, maybe. I didn't hear their comments at halftime. Man, they need to come back. USC has an even better defensive front seven. I don't think they have an overall better defense, though. I think they have a better offense than Oregon, which is scary as hell. But I don't think their defensive secondary is as good as Oregon's. At least that's my opinion anyway. The OC is paying the price for not investing in the run. Yep, we keep saying that. They have some insight. I don't know what the insight is that we're not trying to run the ball. I mean, at this point, let's just say at this point we're going to concede the fact that we may lose this game. Why not try to get a running game going? Why not just pound the ball? Just pound it, just pound it, just pound it, just pound it. Let's get this going. Let's tear the Band-Aid off and let's get this thing going so that when we get to USC, maybe we know what we're doing, but we haven't even tried to run at all this year. Like, it isn't even this game. It's the entire season. We have basically abandoned the run. And I said way early, and you guys did too, I'm sure, way early in the season, that the good teams at the back end of our schedule are going to know that we abandoned the run. And if they know that, they're going to key on in exactly what we're good at, and we're not going to be good at it anymore. And that's exactly what Oregon's doing. They're taking away the pass. We have one reception by our tight end. We have one decent run out of, I don't know how many times we've attempted to run, maybe 4 times. So we need to just run the ball. As far as I'm concerned, if I were coaching right now and it were a nameless team and I was down by 35 points and I couldn't establish the run until now, I would probably just run the ball and I would just keep doing it until we got good at it. And then that way, when we go and play USC, we at least have some semblance of what we're doing. Anyway, So we're 15 minutes into this live stream. Let me take a few more comments, and then we'll go back to the game and see if we can maybe pull this back together again. We have 23 total yards in the first half. I haven't even looked at stats because I don't want to look at stats, guys. How do you think the 2024 class will be? I think it'll be awesome. I think a lot of people, including myself, talked about the fact that this year we basically we're on borrowed time with a whole bunch of transfers. And we're looking to build our team in 2024 and 2025 with actual recruits that are going to come in. And I think 2024 is going to be a much better year. And guys, we're 3-0 right now. This game is not over, and we are 3-0. So at this point, if we rack up a loss in this, I'm okay. I'm okay because 3-1 going into the fourth game of the year. Guess who else is 3-1 going into the fourth game of the year? Yep, I bet you can guess. There are a few teams that are 3-1. And there's going to be even more after today. And there's going to be even more after next week. Next week has a lot of big games in it. So we are still in the hunt. I mean, we are still in the hunt. If we end up in the top 25 this year, folks, at the end of the year, regardless of going to a playoff or anything else, if we just end up in the top, if we end up ranked, we have won the Super Bowl as far as CU is concerned, because that hasn't happened since 2016. So, and, throwing out COVID years and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this live stream up, guys. Let's take a few more comments. Ron Williams says he doesn't know how to stop negative yardage. That's true. Trigger Warning says Heisman only if comeback. So that's a good point. Shadur's Heisman Trophy, let's say, aspirations, are they diminishing right now in this game? What do you think? I think I have my idea in this. I think they're diminished. I don't think they're gone. It's a long season. If we come back, we beat USC next week, and we hold Caleb Williams to a terrible game, which could be possible because we're playing in Folsom, and we figure something out next week, then we're back on track. Bo Nix is really rocketed up in this Heisman for this game. I will tell you that. There is no doubt that Bo Nix is really cashing in on this today. And I don't know, I'll bet they don't take him out because he's not getting pressured. He's not getting hit. He got sacked once, I think, by Jordan Dominic, but I don't think they pull him out. I think they want him to pad his stats because he is a fifth-year senior, and if he doesn't get it now, he ain't never going to get it, as they say. He ain't never going to get it. M. Favors said, I think the coach answered that when he said his sons will be back next year. Yes, that's probably true. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off of this, and we're going to go see if we can't watch the second half of football. And then I'll do a wrap-up video tomorrow kind of going over kind of what our misses are here, what our wins are here, what we can take forward to USC. And we'll see if we can get something going in the second half. That is a wrap from Alpine Garage Sports, folks. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so now, although I imagine all of you are subscribers. And enjoy that second half. Let's pull something positive out of this. 3-1 ain't bad, guys. 4-0 is better, but 3-1 ain't bad. That's way better than anybody thought we would be. And we will see you in the next video. We here.